Hey everyone, welcome to another podcast of MLM Scores, where we bring you the top voices from the world of network marketing. I am excited to welcome Sam, one of the great leader from Bravenly Global.
Hello, hello. It's so nice to be here. I'm so excited.
We are also very excited to have you here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Your journey has inspired people all around the globe. So,
Oh,
welcome
well,
again on
thank
the
you
show.
so much.
You're welcome, Sam. So, Sam, what first attracted you to Bravenly Global and why did you decide to build a business with it?
Well, I tell you what, that was such a journey. Okay. So, to start with, I have been in the industry for over a decade, not with Bravenly. I was with another company and I did really well there, even though it was more of a niche of a audience or whatever. I still grew that company, my business. I was the top 2% in the company and I did really well there. I earned six figures there and did everything. But, after a while,
Yeah.
there were some things that went on with uh, corporate office, and they switched some things up in the pay plan, and started making all kinds of hoops and stuff for us just to jump through, and it just wasn't the same as when I started. So I kind of, got the feeling that, it was time to like take a step back, and a lot of the reason was because I had a lot going on at home in my with my family. My son at the time, around this time he was around 5 years old,
Okay.
and he had an autoimmune disease. So he had struggled with a lot of stuff with his health. He had digestive pain, nerve pain. He struggled mentally with just the lifestyle that he had to live with, and, had some skin issues. And it was just, heartbreaking to watch him go through all this. And then by the time he was 5 years old,
Mhm.
which was about 5 years ago, so I had basically stepped away from my prior company at that time
Mhm.
and was just focused on him. But the last thing that he had, the latest thing that he had struggled with was diabetes. His blood sugar is and stuff like that. And he was only 5 years old. And I just did not want to go down the route of medicine, 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 medicine. So it forced me, just as a mama,
Mhm.
to really educate myself and go down the road to try to find options for him that where he wouldn't develop, side effects and stuff later down the road, things, natural things that helped him. And so it put me down the road of holistic and naturopathic health,
Yeah.
which, has been here for centuries,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These things used to help us in so many ways for so long. And, I don't know why we have stepped away from that type of care. But anyhow, long story short, I had found a great naturopathic doctor to help him.
Okay.
And so we, we're using all of the herbs and the roots and shoots and the potent, in their potent form, natural, the liquid herbs that you take. And
Yeah.
he was on about a dozen of them,
Oh,
right? About a dozen different potent, strong herbs.
yeah.
But let me tell you, and they did the job. They worked. They helped him
Okay.
when he would take them. But the problem is they just taste so bad.
Oh,
Like,
good.
oh, they're so disgusting tasting. And, as adults, you and I, we could probably wrestle with the fact, okay, we got to, be responsible
Yeah.
and do what we need to do and just take the medicine just, to honor our bodies, right?
Yeah.
Well, try telling that to an 8-year old.
Yeah, we cannot.
You know,
Yeah.
to them and their world, what they eat and consume, I mean, that is a big quality of life, part of their quality of life. And he was just, if he felt like crap, it's because he wasn't taking his medicine.
Yeah.
But when he was taking his medicine, it was just disgusting to take. He was having to take it sometimes 3 times a day,
Okay. That
right?
taste was
So,
very bad. Yeah.
but when he would take them, he would feel good. But
Yeah.
he would just, they tasted so bad
Mm.
that sometimes he would just cry and say, Mama, Mama, please don't make me take this disgusting medicine. I'll just rather I won't eat.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Oh my God.
so way back
Mm.
before Bravenly, the company that I'm with now,
Yeah.
before Bravenly was even born, I
Yeah.
was praying for Bravenly.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, because I mean, that was back before 2020. And Bravenly was born
Mm-hmm.
in the end of 2020, right in the middle of when?
Wow. Corona. Yeah.
You said that. I didn't say that. Right when all of the other, so many businesses and stuff were closing down, people couldn't go to work,
Yeah.
companies were losing money.
Yeah.
My company was born. And I'll get into this later about how, their growth went on.
Mhm.
But anyhow, so my son was already sick and I was already looking
Mm.
for solutions for him that didn't exist at the time.
Mm.
And then lo and behold, here comes Bravenly. And when I found Bravenly, they were in their third year in business
Okay.
is when I finally found them. And when I dug into the ingredients that this company
Yeah.
had, and I did not care that it was a company or not. I was not looking for a direct sales company. I was not looking for a business opportunity. I was not looking for that. I was looking for anything that was going to help my baby, whether it was direct sales or if I had to special order it from India. I didn't care.
Okay.
So, found this company, looked at all the ingredients,
Okay.
saw that every single ingredient, I mean everything that we were using here
Mhm.
was in these formulations that Bravenly had.
Okay.
And so got really excited and then I found out that the corporate office was actually going to be hosting a sip and sample tasting event
Perfect for you.
at a place where I could bring my child to
Okay.
taste for himself
Wow.
to see if this would be an option. And let me tell you something, I drove 2 hours.
Two
I
hours.
gave him 2 hours to
Okay.
come and taste these products. And
Oh,
let me tell you something,
yeah.
he loved the product so much
I
that
can
I had
see from your
to
smile.
tell him to step away from the table. It's
Wow.
not candy, it is medicine. So
Oh my
lo and
God.
behold, I ordered all the products. We
Okay.
got them in,
Okay.
and let me tell you what else I noticed
Yeah.
was that for the cost that we were spending at a naturopathic doctor and all the medicine,
Yeah.
for less than that,
Mm-hmm.
not only could I get these products that helped him,
Yeah.
my husband and I could also work on our health too
Oh my God.
and still save money.
Yeah.
So, okay, now listen, I had some very high standards, right? I knew how well that the naturopathic doctor
Yeah.
products worked. So
Yeah.
I expected, I mean, they had to work. They had to be just as pure, just as potent, and give him the same relief and results that he was getting from there,
Yeah.
but they had to taste good, so he wanted to take them.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we first started taking them and they did help and they did work, I was not surprised because that was the standard that I had set,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
As time went on you
Mm.
know, when he could eat without pain because his pancreas does not digest his food. He would be eating like passing whole food through his body, so painful. So, the pain went away. He was able to digest his food, right? His nerve pain was easing.
Okay.
A little bit more time, his quality of life, his joy came back into his depression
Right.
lifted, and he wanted to play again. He wanted to be a kid again and laugh and do all the things that the kids want to do, and his skin was clearing up, right?
Yeah.
So I was happy about that, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, because I knew what was possible from what we experienced,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Here's what really threw me
Yeah.
was when my husband and I started using them for ourselves.
Okay.
I didn't even realize
Uh,
how much we needed these products
really?
because I personally suffered with a lot of injuries
Mm.
myself in my body. I have a lot of spinal injuries. I have some arthritic pain. I have migraines. I had a shattered shoulder that I had to have reconstruction surgery on. And listen, for decades, I have always had to continuously take something for pain, whether it be a pharmaceutical or an anti-inflammatory,
Mm.
whatever. I always had to take something.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
also just the day to day, listen, I'm 55 years old
Really?
trying to raise, and now he's 11. Now he's 11, trying to raise an 11-year-old. Let me tell you something. I was tired.
Yeah.
Like, like by the end of the day, by midday, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh my God.
okay, I didn't have that no more.
Okay.
I wasn't tired in the day no more. I could think clearly, my mind clarity. I could like boom, 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 get things done throughout the day and then, get my work done and get the dinner made and get the laundry done and, have the house clean
Yeah.
and I wasn't like, I mean, I literally just felt energized.
Yeah.
And let me tell you about my husband.
Yeah.
My husband didn't think he needed anything either, but he also suffers from insomnia
Okay.
and also depression runs through his family.
Okay.
And I'm here to tell you within 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
my husband called me from
Mm.
his work and
Okay.
he said, I don't know what you have me taking,
Huh?
but I'm asking you to please keep making me take it because I just feel good. I feel happy
Mm.
and I feel happy every day.
My
And
God.
I'm sleeping good through the night. I'm not waking up. So please keep me taking them. So all three of us, now listen, after all this, it hadn't even been a month yet.
Yeah. Complete game
Not even a
changer
month
for your
yet.
family. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
My God.
So the last thing that was really what solidified it for me
Mm-hmm.
to start looking into the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
was that on day 32,
Day
32
32.
days
Yeah.
after we were on our program, I went into my son's he wears like an insulin pump.
Okay.
Okay, so it calculates, you load the insulin in it and it calculates, it monitors his blood sugar and it automatically calculates how much insulin that he's getting.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so listen to this. I went into pump, his pump history
Yeah.
back from before he started using these products
Okay.
to day 32.
Day 30.
Before we started, he was in proper blood sugar range
Yeah.
only 35% of the time.
Okay.
Not good.
Bad. That's bad. Yeah.
That means that 65% of his life he was either way too high or way too low.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. So tell me
Let me
about
tell
day
you.
32. Yeah. So,
Day 32, I go into his pump and look.
Yeah.
He had been in range
Yeah.
85% of the time,
My God.
from 35 to 85. Not only that,
Yeah.
the doses that he was being delivered, his insulin doses,
Yeah.
were cut in half.
On wow. Just using for just
Look,
one.
I get goosebumps still telling the story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My God. The
Unbelievable. And
how to
listen,
ask a real life example. You already told me. So this is the mm, best thing I have ever heard from someone.
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So this is when I said, listen,
Yeah.
I know that everything happens for a reason,
Mm.
and God always puts us on this journey through our life, and we never understand why we have to go and experience things until one day we realize, oh, that's why I had to go through that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's why I had to suffer through that. Well, let me tell you, I had no idea
Mhm.
that my whole decade of experience that I learned in this industry was
Yeah.
leading up to the fact that one day this was going to be dropped into my lap.
Mm.
So, which taught me what I needed to know to be able to recognize a proper opportunity when it come on. And when I went to, to like take a look at the opportunity that Bravenly offers,
Yeah.
right? First, number one, you gotta have products that work.
Yeah. And
Well, hello. And listen, the industry standard, usually a direct sales company has at least one product that nobody else has,
yes,
right?
that's
That
right.
maybe all the other stuff that they have, they're different versions of but they got to have at least one product that
Yeah.
they go, nobody's got this.
Yeah.
Nobody that sets them apart,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We don't have just one. I can count on my hand
Yeah.
five
Five product.
different hero products that nobody on the planet has.
My
And
God.
I know there's no time to go into what they are,
Yeah.
but I can talk to people later, outside of this podcast on what products really sets us apart. But no, so that's number one. They check that box, right? They've
Yeah.
got five hero products that nobody else can even compare to. So number two,
Yeah.
the company needs to show solid growth.
Yes.
So I went back to 2020 when
Okay.
everybody else was shutting down,
Ye-
right?
Yes.
So Bravenly really was born in December of 2020. So basically, 2021 was their first year.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you know when they ended 2021, they ended it with 1.5 million in sales,
Okay.
but debt free.
Debt free. Wow. That's
Debt free, one
yeah.
and a half million in sales. Okay. So I said, okay, the
Mhm.
first year, not too shabby. They
Yeah.
didn't take on any debt and
Yeah.
they come out with a 1.5 million in profit.
Yes.
Let's see what they did the second year.
Uh,
What do you think they did the second year?
it
Like, just give me a number, what you think would be impressive.
would be 10 millions.
Very close.
Very close.
9 million in sales.
You are telling
Year
the
two.
story. Otherwise, some other company, I would have guessed like 2 millions or 3 millions. But after hearing your story, so I was pretty sure must be like 9 million or 10 million.
9 million still debt free.
My God.
Still did not take on debt.
Yeah. Almost 10x.
So I know.
Yeah.
So guess what they did in year three?
Oh my God. uh, 30 millions?
Well, 19 million.
90 millions. Come on, boy.
19 million year three debt free.
Debt free. My God.
Still,
Yeah.
that is when I
Mm.
was like, okay, I think, we are checking a lot of boxes here.
Yeah.
So the next box that
Mm.
you got to check
Mm.
is how many people know about it. Like you can't expect to walk up to a company
Yeah.
that's decades, years long that everybody's heard of.
Yes.
right?
Right.
Because how are you going to grow your business fast
Yeah.
if your neighbor has already heard of them?
Right.
Or if your cousin is already a customer?
Yeah.
Or your best friend's mom is already selling it?
Yes. So a new
Okay? So,
company, great products, debt free. So you found it.
yes. So when I joined
Yeah.
last year, I've only been with the company for 14 months.
Okay.
So when I joined, there were only 2,000 people getting paid.
Okay. Just 2000.
Two,
Yeah.
2,000. When I joined my other company in the past,
Yeah.
they were already over 50,000
Oh.
people getting paid.
So people were already aware about that old company, but for this
Yes.
company, it was
Even
totally
though
new.
I still did well there,
I'm
it
sure.
wasn't I didn't join that company in as great a time as
Yeah.
we're in right now.
Okay.
Okay. So so that check the box. Nobody's heard of it. They're growing. They're debt free.
Mm.
Nobody's got products like they've got.
Okay.
So the other thing that counts is
Hmm.
the founder.
The
Who
founder.
is behind the product?
Hmm.
Who is the one that is calling the shots? Is it a board of directors? People that aren't invested in the company?
Hmm.
Or is it somebody that has shed blood, sweat, and tears from their heart that is emotionally invested in the company?
Yeah.
Check that box too. I can tell you so much about the founding family behind Bravenly, but that is for another time and place. But let me just tell you, it checked a box.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
The
Yeah.
next thing that you need to know is how are they going to pay?
Yeah.
Okay. The industry standard
Hmm.
across the board is about 35% on the dollar,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Let me tell you,
Mhm.
Aspen Emery, my founder,
Okay.
pays the field. Not only does she pay the field 59% on the dollar,
59%.
59% on the dollar,
Okay.
she also pays us first before she gets paid.
My God. That's something.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So what does that look like, on paper? Because maybe some people might be like, okay, well, what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm making 59%? Listen, there's a lot of pay plans out there that are so confusing that you can't even make sense of it. You get your paycheck, there's a dollar amount there, and you really don't even understand what the calculations are. Our pay plan is so simple and straightforward. Let
Okay.
me just tell you what it looks like on paper is
Yeah.
about 3 times more than what you would be making somewhere else. And let me tell you, I've got proof of this because what I did in my prior company, as far as sales volume,
Yeah.
if I was to match that over here, my
Yeah.
paychecks here are
With the three.
3 times higher than
Yeah.
what I was selling over there for the same amount.
That's insane.
Unheard of.
Yeah. That's insane. So
Insane.
yeah.
Insane.
My God.
I
So.
know. I
So.
know. And let me tell you something else too. This is a place where anybody
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't matter if you've never done this before. It doesn't matter if you've done this for decades.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a special spot in a special place right now when we haven't even started momentum yet, where they can walk up
Yeah.
and literally walk away with 4 or 5 figures a month.
So how
Let me
many?
tell you something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Within my first year here at Bravenly,
Yeah.
my team and I have already moved over 2 million in sales.
Okay. That's very good amount. 2 million
That
to.
is phenomenal to be just with the company for a year.
Yeah.
And I already took away 6 figures by month 4.
So you did not find Bravenly Global. They found you.
That's
Actually.
right. That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
They found you, Sam.
I know. I
They
know.
need a
So
leader
I'm
like you.
so thankful.
Yeah.
So thankful for the opportunity. I'm so thankful that God allowed me to experience this whole journey. I'm so thankful for our founders. And man, let me tell you what, if I had to say anything else,
Mhm.
is this.
Yeah.
What I didn't get to finish is what my company ended the year four in.
Okay.
Okay. The last that you know, we ended year three,
19 millions.
19 million.
Yeah.
I came aboard a couple months after that
Okay.
last year. We ended our fourth year in business,
Uh-huh.
52 million in
And
sales,
my God.
52 million debt free.
Very good.
So let me just paint a picture for you.
Okay.
Okay. Right now, between year three and year four,
Okay.
we've taken on about 7,000 new representatives. So we went from 2,000 to a little over 9,000.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
That is that the word's getting out. The word's getting out, right?
yeah.
I want you to think about this for a second. 52 million, 59% is put back into the field,
My God.
less than 10,000 consultants
My
or
God.
brand partners. What do you think our paychecks look like on average?
My God.
We have an income disclosure statement out there that breaks it down, and whoever wants to take a look at it,
Mhm.
email me. I will send it to you and watch you pick your jaw up off the floor.
My God. I can imagine that.
It
So,
is real, it is not hype, it is straightforward and simple. So let me just share this last thing.
okay.
So here we are. We're in our fourth, we just ended our fourth year
Yeah.
in June. We're halfway through the year.
Okay.
We are going to be hitting a record breaking milestone at
Okay.
the end of this year. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I am at the top of the company. I'm one of 24 other top leaders. There's only 24 of us at the top.
Just
Only 20.
24.
I
Okay.
was number nine.
Okay.
I was the ninth one in
Uh,
the entire world to
Okay.
hit the top of the company. Okay. So there are things that are privy to us because we are the top leaders. So
Mm-hmm.
I am under non-disclosure, agreements that I can't say certain things or tell certain secrets. But I
Mm-hmm.
can say that we are going to be breaking some serious records this year, but they won't be announced until after the year ends, at the end of the beginning of the next year.
Okay.
All I've got to say is that when those announcements hit the wire
Yeah.
and the media gets a hold of them,
Mm-hmm.
the floodgates are going to open. And that is going to begin our trajectory right to where the momentum goes.
Yeah.
So if I have to say anything to anybody,
Yeah.
please reach out to me, email me, let me know that you want more details because it's this window in time that
Mm-hmm.
you want to build and have your team ready to go because when these floodgates open, there are going to be people that are not going to recognize their life.
So,
There are
guys,
going to be
what are you
industry
doing?
leaders.
Yes.
Industry leaders from other places are going to be walking away and coming here just because of the magic that's going on here.
I agree with you. So, guys, what are you doing? Yeah, just check out the email below and contact Sam and join this opportunity right away. This
Do you have any more
opportunity.
questions for me? You only asked me one question.
You answered everything.
I did.
Yes, you answered everything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Well,
just
I
tell
am.
me, okay, so I will ask one last question from my side.
Okay.
Okay, so what is your vision for the next 12 months with the Bravenly Global? Financially, tell me about your personal financial goal with this. if you are
Well,
allowed to tell.
well, let's just say that I fully expect to be, I was I was earning six figures, within month four.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that'll be multiple per month. I completely expect that. There's no way that can't not happen.
And
Not with what we're seeing. Um, it's crazy. But I tell you
yeah.
what we have coming for the future as far as our product line,
Mm-hmm.
because our product catalog is still so small because we're still, just only completed 4 years. So we have, a little over a dozen products.
Yeah.
What's coming
Yeah.
in the future
Yeah.
to be added on to our product portfolio?
Yeah. It will be.
Unbelievable. If I could tell you, you would fall all over yourself to get your hands on this.
What I will do now after this podcast, I'm gonna join you right away. And I'm
Let's
sure,
go!
yeah.
Let's go!
Okay.
It's going
Yeah.
to change your life.
I'm sure it will. Yeah. So guys, please go ahead, email Sam and check out her link and join this opportunity right away. Best product, best pay plan, and the best thing about this opportunity is you will get the chance to join under a top leader, Sam.
Thank you so much. So my email address
Mm-hmm.
is schubertlife@gmail.com, and that is spelled
Mm-hmm.
SCHUBERTLIFE.com.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sam, for your time. And it was pleasure talking to you. Have a great day.
Thank you. The same to you.